in to the Larks Network.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 18 of the 2021 Hayes Larks season. This is game 2 of 2 against the Boulder Collegians. Larks won last night 16-6 in 8 innings. This is their 4th game against Boulder this year, the 2nd one here in Boulder. Happy Independence Day to all watching. Tyler Palmer will lead it off for Hayes. On the mound for the Collegians is Grayson Gifford. This is his 2nd appearance against the Larks this year through 1 inning in the 11-5 victory for Boulder in Hayes. Hayes is 2-1 this year against Boulder, looking for win number 3 and to get the season series win. First 2 pitches to Tyler Palmer from Gifford in the zone. Tyler Palmer had a great game yesterday, got the game going for Hayes early on in the game, had a home run, and scored a couple more times after that. Pops this one up and out of play, and we'll get a 4th pitch. All in all for Tyler Palmer, 2 runs scored, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a walk in that 16-6 ball game. It was back and forth all the way through the first 5 innings. And then by the time the 6th, 7th, and 8th happened, Hayes took a 10-run lead and run rolled the Collegians on their field. Gifford, a righty, will go from the windup, misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Palmer. On deck for Hayes is Cam Pearson with Wyatt Davis in the hole. Larks bench a little short today. 2 guys not eligible to play. And then Grant Schmidt didn't make the trip with Hayes. And Leo Jiminian out with an injury right now. Same with Kavanaugh and Grant Lung. The 1-2 to Palmer inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gifford in that last outing came in the 5th inning and didn't walk anybody, didn't give up any hits, no strikeouts. All 3 balls put in play, but got outs. He'll strike out Tyler Palmer on 6 pitches, and that'll get this game going here in Boulder. That takes us to Cam Pearson. Cam came in relief of Zach Henry yesterday, and after getting taunted by the pitcher, after his first at-bat, got his revenge and got the Larks a big victory. Cam went 2 for 3, scored 2 times, and drove in 3 runs. His first delivery from Gifford, a fastball off the plate, 1-0. 1 away, base is empty in the top of the 1st. Luke Terbeek will be the starting pitcher for the Larks, taking the mound after this top half of the inning. Pearson, the Fort Hayes commit, digs in, grounds this one over to the right side, and it will be foul. Not great contact right there from the left fielder. Larks made some late last-minute adjustments into the lineup, and Cam Pearson was moved into the outfield. Pearson from Cochise College, originally from Gilbert, Arizona, taking his talents to play for the Fort Hays State University Tigers. Last year, the Larks played in all 32 games and had the tied for the team lead with 5 home runs. Led the team in hits and total bases with 44 hits and 77 total bases. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away in the top of the first. This delivery inside on an off-speed, 2-1. But check out how the Larks line up after this AB. Larks fans, make sure to follow Larks on Twitter and Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. You'll stay up to date with all things Larks baseball all summer long. Gifford, a tall righty, looks home, and we'll go from the windup. Misses low, 3 balls and a strike, a hitter's count for Cam. Larks didn't get any runs in yesterday's ballgame until the 3rd inning, or silent innings 1 and 2 and 4 and 6. 3 runs in the 3rd, 5 in the 7th, and 7 in the 8th. 16 total hits and the same amount of runs for the Larks. 3-1 is cranked down the left field line. It'll be out of play, but well hit by Pearson. Just a tad early on a 1. He read well. Pearson, in his last 2 games against Boulder in Boulder, has a combined 10 RBIs. And had 7 in 1 game in that 20-0 victory last year against Boulder. Larks have scored 36 runs in their last 2 games in Boulder over the past 2 years. And we'll get a payoff pitch from Gifford. And Pearson will be punched out, looking 2 batters face for Gifford and 2 strikeouts. And there's now 2 away. Pearson thought he had it. It was a close call. Gifford was rated the 39th overall right-handed pitcher coming out of Colorado, according to Perfect Game, and was the 98th overall player coming out of the state before heading to Azusa Pacific. Two away, base is empty. So we go to Wyatt Divis, the 3-hole. Gifford has thrown 12 pitches, 7 of those in the zone. This one will not be in the zone. 1-0 to Divis. Larks will be off tomorrow, and then we'll take on the Kansas Cannons on Tuesday before taking on the Brigade on Wednesday. It was supposed to be a 6-game road 6 games in a row on the road, and then on Thursday and Friday, Larks had rainouts, and what was supposed to be a 4-game road trip in Colorado turns into just a 2-game road trip. 2 balls and no strikes to the DH from UTA. Lawson on deck with Crowell in the hole for Hayes. Gifford gets the signs from his catcher. Fisher goes home, and this one is off the dirt. It's the 3rd one he's thrown off the dirt today. 3-0. Due for the Collegians in the bottom of the first will be Vogel, Miguel, and Ackerman. Larks coming to this game 13-4 on the season. They're 7-2 in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, and they're in first place, a whole game up against Fort Collins. Gifford looks home, gets his signs from Fisher, and will go from the windup and catches the outside corner. Hitter's count for the DH. The last hitter's count he allowed was to Pearson and ended up striking out Pearson. Had Pearson just been a little bit later on his swing on the 5th pitch of that AB, would have had a solo shot. Gifford goes home 3-1, off speed above the letters, and Wyatt Divis has a walk. Walked a few times yesterday, but let's check out how the Larks line up in this game. Tyler Palmer, the Nebraska Cornhusker, led it off, followed by Pearson and Divis. Cortland Lawson's coming up to the dish. He's the cleanup hitter from UTA. Crowell and Hutchison follow him at 5 and 6. And then 7, 8, and 9 in the order is Cade Brown, the Oklahoma Sooner, Brady Evans, and Brock Loomis. For Wyatt Divis, that was walk number 11 this season. And yesterday's ball game, Divis walked 3 times. He's a single-season record holder for walks in a season for the Hayes Larks, walking over 60 times in just 1 year. Last year, he had 31 and led the team. Cortland Lawson in the box now has a 1-0 count, and Gifford will look over at Divis. And Divis retreats to the bag. Gifford steps off the rubber and will deliver pitch number 2 here to Lawson. Lawson had a 2-run home run late in yesterday's game that gave the Larks a 3-run lead, and they didn't look back after that points. Fouls this one off. Goes to the Collegians dugout. 1-1 count to Lawson. Lawson finished his day yesterday 1 for 4, but that one hit was that 2-run home run to deep left field. Also had a walk on the day, and that 16-6 victory for Hayes. Off speed will catch the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lawson. Lawson started at second base yesterday. Tonight he's getting the start at short. Sam Crowell waiting on deck should the Larks need him. Lawson has a great 2 strikes approach. Showed it yesterday in the game. And then what do you do here on the 1-2 delivery? Won't get a swing as it misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Larks had lost 3 of their last 4 before playing Boulder yesterday. And snapped their little losing skid. Starting off so dominant. Won 11 of their first 12. And the 2-2 delivery is going to be sent into center field. Moving back is Vogel. He's in front of the warning track. Keeps looking up. He's not going to make the catch. The ball drops on the dirt. Davis is going to round third. The throw is going to go to third. Cortland Lawson will have a 2-out triple, and the Larks take a 1-0 lead. Great 2-out rally for Hayes after a walk from Davis. And now a triple for Cortland Lawson. And the Larks lead 1-0. And a good hitter coming to the plate, and Sam Crown with the runner in scoring position. For Wyatt Davis, that was run scored number 17 this season. And for Cortland Lawson, that was his 8th RBI in 5 games. 2 away, runner at third base for Sam Crowell, the first baseman from UTA. Takes the first delivery from Gifford above the letters 1-0. So Gifford, after striking out the first 2 batters he faces, walks a guy and then allows a triple. And the Larks will look to continue their 2-out rally with Sam Corral at the dish. Hutchison on deck with Brown in the hole for Hayes. The 1-0 from Gifford. Popped over to the left side. Moving back is Upstill. Will range under it in left field. And loses it for a bit. And he is going to drop it. And that will be an error. And Sam Corral will go to second. And scoring from third base was Cortland Lawson. Won't count as an RBI as it was an error. The other one from Vogel maybe could have been caught, but he just lost it. And Upstill in left field, looking deep into the sun, lost that ball, and it cost Boulder a run. So now a runner at scoring position with Sam Corral at second for Palmer Hutchison. So that's his second time Lawson scored the past 2 games, and that's his 6th run scored this season. 3 of those runs have come off of home runs from him. 2-way, the first delivery to Palmer Hutchison will miss low and inside. 1-0 to the KCK Blue Devil. 3 straight Larks have been aboard. Crowell is at second base. Not going to have a whole lot of speed to use getting home, as he still doesn't look quite 100% when he's running, but should Hutchison get something outfield, maybe Crowell could score. Grounds this one to the left field line, but it will miss foul of third base. The Crowell also was just taking his time to get to second on that last one, so maybe he is looking better out there running. I know in his first game back, wasn't quite 100% on that leg, on his hamstring. He's had about a week back in action. 1-1 to Hutchison. Gifford takes a look at Crown. Nobody there to keep him honest at second. And this one's going to be grounded over to Max McGuire at first base. And foul. 1-2. Boulder lines up with Upstill in the left field, Vogel in center field, Rucco in right. Sean D, the third baseman, John Gazdar at shortstop, Chatterton at second with Miguel at first, and Fisher is tonight's backstop. Came in relief yesterday, and then replaced Oliphant, who, after getting ejected in yesterday's ball game, not playing in this one. 2-0 lead for Hayes in the top of the first. 2 outs. Runner at second base. Gifford sets up, goes home, misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to number 4. Larks 2-1 against Boulder this year. Split the home series and looking to not split the road series here today on Independence Day. A 2-2 delivery, swung on and missed. Gafford strikes out 3 in the first inning, but 2 runs scored for Hayes. They'll take a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the first. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Bottom of the first we go from Boulder, Colorado. Ryan Vogel will lead it off. The center fielder from Bradley University takes the first pitch, ball 1-0. Luke Terbeek on the mound today for Hayes has gone a remarkable 18 1/3 innings this year without allowing a walk. Has struck out 22 guys and still no walks. Has hit a few batters. Allowed 21 hits, 5 earned runs. Has an ERA of 2.46. And the knuckleballer from the Netherlands has a 1-1 count. Terbeek, tall righty. We'll get a new sign from Brock Loomis. Vogel batted leadoff yesterday for the Collegians, went 1 for 2 and scored 2 times, also picked up a couple of walks. It's a combined 8-inning effort from Jake Fitzgibbons and Jose Velasquez. This one's going to be hit to deep left center field. Cam Pearson moves back and will make the catch in front of the warning track for out number 1 of the bottom of the first. Check out how the Larks line up defensively in this ball game. Cam Pearson out of Coach East in left field. Tyler Palmer in center with Cade Brown getting his first start in right field. It's been a while since Cade Brown has seen action in right field. Brady Evans getting his first start at third base. Quentin Lawson at shortstop. Palmer Hutchison getting his first start at second base. Sam Crowell at first. And Brock Loomis behind the dish for Hayes. 1 away, base is empty. 1-0 count now to Miguel. Miguel in yesterday's ball game 0 for 2, also had 2 walks. The top 4 of Boulder's order combined for 6 walks. 1 ball and a strike, 1 away. Big from the windup, misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. This year for Arizona Western, Terbeek made 9 appearances and went 5-0. This one's going to be lined up the middle, and Cortland Lawson's not going to be able to get to it. It's a 1-out single for Brady Miguel. Takes us to Alec Ackerman, the DH.
Third baseman, number 22, Alec Ackerman.
So Terbeek will step off the mound and get ready to take on the DH. Ackerman 1 for 3 yesterday with an RBI. Chatterton on deck with Gazdor in the hole. Almost the exact same order from yesterday's ballgame, with the exception of Oliphant. He's replaced by Fisher in this game. But other than that, every hitter in the same spots. First delivery home, he pops it over to the left side. Brady Evans reads it for a second, goes to the foul wall, and watches it go out of play. No balls and a strike. Terbeek hasn't lost a single game at Arizona Western. He's 0-1 this year for the Larks, but has put his team into great positions to win and was looking to pick up win number 1, give the Larks an 8-3 lead going into the 8th inning, and then the Larks collapse against the Sox for their first loss of the season. This one will be a called strike 2. Terbeek pitched in the Dutch major leagues for 4 years, played for 2 different teams, made 37 career appearances, 25 starts, 1 save, threw 152 innings, and struck out 82 guys. Fastball from Terbeek misses low and outside, 1-2. Righty versus righty. Terbeek gives Brock Loomis a nod and will go from the stretch. Taking off from first base is Miguel, and we won't get a throw from Loomis, but Terbeek picks up strikeout number 23 on the season right there. Great pitch with 2 strikes from Luke Terbeek. Boulder stole a lot of bases yesterday, and they're staying with an aggressive mindset on the base paths. Runner in scoring position with 2 away. They stole a total of 7 bases against the Larks yesterday. First delivery home to Jackson Chatterton, the second baseman, misses the zone 1-0. Chatterton out of Bradley. One of two guys on the Collegians roster from Bradley. 1-0. Terbeek looks over at Miguel. Goes home, gets a swing and a miss on an off-speed. 1 ball and a strike, 2 away. Do it for the Larks in the second inning will be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, bottom of the order, Brown, Evans, and Loomis. Beat gets set. Loomis sets up outside, and the throw is inside. Loomis catches it, and it's a 2-1 count. 1-2 counts. Larks scored 2 in the top of this inning thanks to a triple from Lawson and the crowd getting an error. This one's grounded into the Larks dugouts, and we'll scoop it up, and we'll stay 1-2. Larks brought 6 hitters to the plate at inning number 1, picked up 1 hit, 1 walk, scored 2 runs, and left 1 runner on base. Chatterton, the lefty, gets this delivery, sends it into right center field. Moving towards it is Cade Brown. It's going to drop off the wall. Tyler Palmer will scoop it up on the warning track, but it's a 2-out double for Chatterton, and that stolen base, an effective one. Scoring all the way from second is Miguel, and it's a 2-1 game.
Now batting,
Takes us to John Gazdar. Gazdar batting 5th again today. The shortstop in yesterday's ballgame went 0 for 4 and got the hat trick. The Larks struck him out 3 times. 2 of those times were against Jake Fitzgibbons. The other one was against Jose Velasquez. Jake Fitzgibbons got the start for Hayes yesterday. The Tennessee Volunteer through 4 innings and had his not best performance of the season. Allowed 3 hits, struck out 4, walked 5 guys, had 4 earned runs. Velasquez came in and slammed the door home. 4 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 2 strikeouts, no earned runs. Off speed is going to be sent to left field, and Cam Pearson will catch it in front of his eyes. And with 2 outs, the rally will come to an end thanks to the flyouts. And that sends us to the second inning. Hayes up 2-1 on Larks Network. Top of the second we go. Cade Brown, the right fielder out of Oklahoma, will lead it off for the Larks. The 6'4 redshirt sophomore had a great day on the diamond yesterday. First delivery to Cade at the letters, 0-1. Cade scored 1 run and walked 4 times. Came into the game with 8 walks on the season and took his total to 12. A third of his walks came in over those 8 innings yesterday. 1 ball and a strike to the righty. Brady Evans on deck with Brock Loomis in the hole for Hayes. The 1-1 home. Brown swings at one that hits off the turf. or the dirt after it hits his bats. 1-2. Dig back into the right-hander's batter's box and get a fourth pitch from Gifford in his second inning of work. And he'll found this one to the Collegians dugout. 1-2. Gifford struck out 3 guys in the first inning, walked 1 and allowed a triple, and had 2 runs scored on him, just 1 of those earned. As for Terry Beek on the mound in the first, struck out 1 earned run, and allowed 2 hits. Larks up 2-1 here in the top of the second in Boulder, Colorado. This delivery home sent high into left field. Up still runs in, and has a much easier time with this one than he had with Krause, and records out number 1 of the second inning. We go to Brady Evans getting his first run at third base. This is his second time playing third base for the Larks this year. Comes to the box. Had the day off yesterday, but did come in a courtesy run and scored a run for Hayes. Brady Evans this year batting .313, has an OBP of .450, 10 hits, 4 runs driven in, and 8 runs scored. Sends this one into center field. Vogel moves back. He's at the warning track, leaps forward, and it's going to be off the top of the wall. Brady Evans rounds second, and the Larks will get their second triple. Just 1 foot farther, and Brady Evans would have hit a home run. It hit off the yellow of the wall as Vogel couldn't get to it, and Brady Evans picks up triple number 2 of the season. Both hits for the Larks are triples, 1 from Lawson and 1 from Evans. That takes us to Brock Loomis getting his start at the catcher spot today, and the umpire is going to talk about this one. It was almost a home run. They'll say was not, did bounce off the top of the yellow, but they won't give Evans the home run. He's at third or looking to score with Loomis at the dish. Loomis did not play in yesterday's ball game. The catcher from Hayes, Kansas, batting .250 this year, has 6 hits in 24 ABs. His first pitch from Gifford will catch the inside low corner. No balls and a strike to Loomis. Tyler Palmer on deck with Cam Pearson in the hole. 3 of the Larks catchers getting the start today. Only one of them at catcher, obviously, it's Loomis, but that's the first time Sam Crowell, Loomis, and Evans are all in the order together this season. No balls and 2 strikes to the Butler Community College Grizzly. Brock redshirted this year for Bucco, and the 6-1 righty gets his third pitch of the AB, swings at this one. It's going to be a drop third strike. He sprints to first, and the throw is going to be in time. Evans creeps down the third base line and goes back to third base. Lou is now 6 for 25 this season at the plate, and there's 2 away. Gifford has now struck out 4 in this ballgame. Top of the order, Tyler Palmer, he struck out to start this game. And his first AB, this will be his second look at Gifford. Fastball way low, 1 ball and no strikes to Tyler Palmer. Ty's batting .417 this year, and he is the leadoff hitter today for Hayes. Top of the order. And a 1-0 delivery, high and inside, 2-0. Still not quite 100%, but the Larks need his bat and his skill set today. Gifford gives Fisher a nod and goes home from the stretch. 2-0, nice curveball, 2-1. Palmer, 6'1", freshman from Columbus, Nebraska, plays for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, along with his teammate Cord Jackson for the Larks. Righty versus righty, the 2-1 outside off the dirt, doing a nice job of blocking it is Fisher, and he saves a run from scoring. Larks left a runner in scoring position in the first inning. They don't want to do the same thing here in the second. And after Evans has a 1-out triple, there's 2 away And a 3-1 count to Tyler Palmer. Three-one check swing sent to the right side of the backstop, and it's a full count. We get a payoff pitch here. Palmer looking to get on base and bring home Brady Evans. Payoff pitch swung on, and one that maybe Tyler would have let off earlier in the AB, but with 2 strikes on him. Had to reach low for it. He sends it foul and stays alive. So we'll get a 7-pitch AB. Giver has thrown 42 pitches through his first inning and 2/3, and will walk his second batter of the day. It's the first time Tyler Palmer's been aboard today. We got runners on the corners with 2 outs for Cam Pearson. Pearson on the day 0 for 1. He struck out looking on a payoff pitch in the first inning. Gifford threw 1 2/3, 43 pitches, 24 of those strikes, 4 strikeouts, a walk, 1 earned run, and he's allowed 2 hits. Works up by 1 here in the second, and they look to add on to their lead with Pearson, a dangerous righty at the dish. Taking off on the first, Palmer, the throw is not going to be in time, but they will throw home, and Brady Evans will be tagged out. And that was the best we've seen from Boulder this year, or any team that the Larks have played against, when a runner goes to second and the runner from third goes home on the throw-out attempt, and that'll end the second inning. Larks had a runner in scoring position with 1 out, and Cam Pearson will be the leadoff hitter for the third inning for Hayes, and we'll see you back for the bottom of the second. Hayes up 2-1. Bottom of the second, Sean D will lead it off for the Collegians. They're down by 1 against the Larks. Terbeek throws in 2 straight strikes, and D down the count. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes to the third baseman. And Luke Terbeek will strike out D on 3 pitches. Strikeout number 2 on the day for Beek, and number 24 on the season. Takes us to Garrett Fisher, the catcher, getting his first start of this series after coming in relief of the ejected Oliphant yesterday. Terbeek, 4 straight strikes to start this inning. This one will miss the zone high. 1 ball and a strike. 1 away, bases empty in the bottom of the second. Larks looking to go undefeated on this road trip, and the 1-1 delivery swung on and missed. 1-2. Fisher yesterday 1 for 1 with a base hit. had 7 hits yesterday, 6 of those singles, and they had 1 home run from Nick Upstill. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Terbeek looking for punch out number 3 on the day, number 25 on the season. Goes from the windup, and this one's going to be popped into not shallow, into center field. Tyler Palmer shields his eyes with his glove and records out number 2.
Now batting right fielder number 9, A.J. Rucco.
2 away as we go to the 8 hole. A.J. Rucco, son of head coach Tony Rucco. And Terbeek has retired 3 straight Collegians. Rucco yesterday 1 for 4 with the strikeouts. Sends this one into deep center field. Tyler Palmer ranges into left center and will record out number 3. 2 straight flyouts to Tyler Palmer makes it a 1-2-3 second. The Larks take a 2-1 lead to inning number 3. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network.
What we do here is go back.
Cam Harrison will lead off the 3rd inning for Hayes, was at the plate in the 2nd, and then when Brady Evans came home, was thrown out on a double steal at the end of the inning. First pitch from Gifford in his 3rd inning of work, misses the zone 1-0. Gifford has struck out 4 and misses the zone again here, 2-0. Gifford, 47 pitches, and under half of those being strikes. 2-0 grounded to the left side and over the railing of the Collegians dugout. 2-1 to Pearson. He's 0 for 1 on the day with the strikeout back in the 1st inning. His pitcher has gone 2 innings. Terbeek has thrown 27 pitches. Gifford pitch count a little bit higher at 47. Each guy's allowed 2 hits and has 1 earned run. This one's going to be hit to left center field. Vogel and Upstill move towards it. Vogel's going to be one that calls off Nick Upstill and records the catch in left center field. 1 up, 1 down to get the 3rd inning going.
Number 16, Wyatt Dennis.
3rd straight flyout and to the center fielder. When you take the bottom of the 2nd into account. Davis to the dish. He walked in his first at-bat and came around to score on the Cortland Lawson triple. Gifford goes home, and this one's lined above his head. It's going to drop in front of Vogel, and Wyatt Davis is aboard for the 2nd time today, his first hits. For Davis, that is hit number 23 this season, single number 17. His batting average is pushing over 500, and his on-base percentage is above 600. Just a ridiculous season for the DH out of UTA. He has an OPS of 1.31. Lawson to the dish now, 1-for-1 with a triple. Brought home Divis back in the first inning. And this delivery off speed, a breaking ball that misses outside, 1-0. Larks were supposed to play the Rough Riders on Thursday. That game got rained out. And then on Friday, the field was still not ready for use. So Coach Leo took the Larks to the Rockies game, and the team enjoyed their Friday night. We're back in action yesterday, won 16-6, and this is day 4 of the road trip. Looking to go 2-0 is the Larks, and it's a 2-0 count for Lawson. Lawson out of the University of Tennessee. He's originally from Virginia. This was his second year with the Volunteers, and he has a 2-0 count here for Hayes. This one will catch the inside part of the plate, 2-1. Lawson very collected on the diamond. Usually don't see a ton of reaction from him, especially when he doesn't get a call. Or even he's always very calm, even when he hits a home run or a grand slam. 2-1, high and inside, 3-1. Lawson just goes out there, gets the job done, and is having a great season. Has a 4-game hitting streak and has only played in 4 games. The guy at first base, Wyatt Divis, after that single, now has a 10-game hitting streak. That's the longest on the team by 6 games. The 3-1 to Lawson will be at the knees, and it's a full count to the shortstop. Lawson was supposed to start at second base today. He got moved to shortstop. And we get a payoff pitch here from Gifford. Divis gets his lead from first. This one's going to be hit to right center field. Vogel and Rucco move on it, and Vogel will be the one who makes the catch. Second fly out to Vogel this inning, and Larks have a runner at first with 2 away. Lawson now 1 for 2. Takes it to Sam Crow. He's 0 for 1 of the day, reaching on an air back in the first inning. I misspoke about how big of a lead Divis had on the hit streak side. He does have a 10-game hitting streak. Sam Crow has the second longest hitting streak for the Larks, and extended it yesterday, went 1 for 4, now has a 6-game hit streak. First delivery to Crow in the zone, 0-1. Hutchison in the hole. Hutchison on deck. Cade Brown in the hole for Hayes. The 0-1 to Crow is ahead of this pitch, and he's down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Got to second base with 2 outs in the first inning, and then after Hutchison's strikeout was left there. He's one of 2 guys to be left on base in this game for Hayes, and they don't want to leave Divis over there at first. And he'll look to get a hit, but will have to protect the plate, down 0-2. 2 away in the top of the third, 2-1 lead for Hayes. This one inside and low, and Crow, quick with his hands, pulls it back in time and has a 1-2 count. Crowd at Heath, Texas. Plays for the UT Arlington Mavericks along with the guy at first base, Wyatt Divis. Gifford looks over his shoulder and goes home. This one's going to be grounded foul to third base coach Frank Leo. D moves into foul territory, scoops it off the grass, and will stay 1-2 and get a 5th pitch to tonight's first baseman. Early first pitch was around 5 o'clock here on the 4th of July. About 40 minutes into this game right now. The 1-2 delivery to Crow. It will catch the inside part of the plate, and I think he knew it as he goes back to the dugouts and is Gifford's 5th strikeout victim of the day. Larks get a single with 1 out and don't move Divis past first base. We go to the bottom half of the third. Hayes up 2-1. Bottom of the third, bottom of the order for Boulder. Nick Upstill will lead it off. Had one hit in yesterday's ballgame. It was a 2-run home run. The first pitch from Terbeek will miss outside 1-0. Upstill, the left fielder, out of San Francisco State. Sends this one into foul territory. Cam Pearson races into foul territory and won't be able to record out number one. And Evans, Lawson, and Palmer all walked over to Pearson. Couldn't see him from here. And Pearson, okay, I was a little nervous seeing everybody walk towards him like that. But he throws the ball in, and there's a 1-1 count. On deck is the top of the order. Vogel with Miguel due up after him to get the bottom of the third going. Terbeek had thrown 2 innings on just 27 pitches, 21 strikes. This one's going to be hit into left field, and it's a leadoff single. First leadoff base run of the day for Boulder. Top of the order for Ryan Vogel out of Bradley. A center fielder is 0 for 1 the day after flying out to Cam Pearson to get the bottom of the first going. Be righty versus righty, and Terbeek will go from the stretch. Be ready for Upstill to take off from first base. Boulder been aggressive on the base paths, and they've already stolen one base today off of Brock Loomis. Showing bunt immediately is Vogel. It's right to Terbeek. He grips it, throws to Sam Crowd first, and it will not be in time. And that is a infield single for Vogel. Unfortunate right there for Hayes, and there's 2 on with nobody out. Takes us to Brady Miguel out of Cal State Monterey Bay. Beek has struck out 2 guys, still hasn't walked a single batter through now over 20 innings. This one's going to be bunted to him, and he's going to take it off his glove, and that's going to be an error for him, and he's frustrated. And Sam Crowd's going to come from first base and try to calm his pitcher down after he's going to be frustrated, allowing 2 guys aboard, both on bunts. And that's something you love to see right there, seeing Crowd go out there and have his pitchers back and get him ready to go. So bases loaded quick. Upstill at third, Vogel at second, Miguel at first base. And it's the 3-0 Alec Ackerman to the dish. He's 0 for 1 today with the strikeouts. First delivery, he sends over to the left side. Brady Evans watches it go to the left side of third base. It's an 0-1 count. Ackerman batting .214 this year, has an OBP of .410, and is looking for RBI number 6 right here. 0-1 count. Terbeek looks at Loomis, and will go home. This delivery inside almost caught the thigh of Ackerman. 1-1 counts. Terbeek played for the Dutch national U18 team and was a 2019 Roald Amand Award winner for the best young pitcher for the Netherlands. This one's grounded to Cortland Lawson. He'll toss it to Hutchison at second for 1, to Crowell at first for 2. It's a double play, and now we're tied, but the Larks will take those 2 outs regardless. And there's a runner at third with 2 away. So the ground ball worked in favor of the Larks. That got out Miguel and Ackerman. But moving to third base is Vogel, and scoring was Nick Upstill. It'll be an RBI for Ackerman, number 6. Bunt here shown, pulled back, and a strike 1. Do it for the Larks, looking to get the lead back in the 4th inning will be Hutchison, Brown, and Evans. Combined 1 for 3 for those guys. Each have had only 1 at bat. This one's going to be popped back and over the backstop and over the grandstand. No balls and 2 strikes. Larks off tomorrow, but you can catch game 1 of 1 against the Kansas Cannons right here on Larks Network on Tuesday. This one's chopped to Palmer. Hutchison will field it after a weird bounce, and it will be in time to crown. A lot of balls just taking weird bounces here on this ballpark. We saw during BP, but Hutchison, good reactions right there to get it out. Number 3, Collegians score 1 in the 3rd. We go to the 4th inning, tied up at 2-2. the fourth. Leading off for Hayes will be Palmer Hutchison. Hutch on the day 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the first inning. Was part of a 3-strikeout first for Grayson Gifford, and the inning that the Larks scored their 2 runs. 2-2 ball game here in the top of the fourth. Gifford from the windup, righty versus righty, hits the dirt again and misses 1-0. Cade Brown and Brady Evans due up after Hutchison as the Larks look to get their lead back. Gifford from the windup again, lined right at Frank Leo off the bat of Hutchison, 1-1. Hutchison got hot late in yesterday's ball game, finished his day 2 for 4, drove in 3 runs and scored 2 himself. He had 2 doubles, and the Larks had 4 total doubles in yesterday's ball game. Had 7 extra base hits, a total of 16 hits. This one will miss the zone. It's 2-1 to Hutch. Hutchison out at Kansas City, Kansas Community College, played for Frank Leo and Keith Harper at Hayes High School, along with Larks catcher in today's ballgame, Brock Loomis. The 2-1 from Gifford will catch the inside part of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the breaking ball. Last year for the Larks, Palmer batted .213 but had an on-base percentage of .358. Picked up 16 hits in 28 games and scored 16 runs. This one will miss the zone, and it's a full count for Palmer Hutchison. Palmer Hutchison has already surpassed his hit total from last year in 12 less games and has matched his 2 runs under his run total for last year, and again, 12 less games. Had a great year at KCK this year and is aboard again today, is aboard again this season in today's game, and it has a leadoff walk, and the Larks have their first leadoff base runner of the game. Runner at first with nobody out for Cade Brown. Walk number 3 loud for Grayson Gifford. Gifford will get his second matchup against Cade Brown. Today, Gifford got the win in the second inning against him when Brown flew out to Nick Upstill for out number 1 of the second inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Check over at Palmer Hutchison. He's in head first safely. Brady Evans on deck. Brock Loomis in the hole for Hayes. This is the Larks' second time through the order. We're at the 7 hole, and the right fielder sends this one back and out of play. 1 ball and a strike. Gifford, 67 pitches now, 39 strikes. Has gotten 3 flyouts, no groundouts, and has started off 6 hitters with the first pitch strike out of the 15 he's faced. 1-1 sent to center field. Moving back is Vogel. He shuffles back and records this one 10 feet in front of the warning track, in front of the 388 sign, and that's allowed out number 1. Cade Brown now 0 for 2 as we go to Brady Evans. He had a triple in the second inning and was thrown out at home later in the inning. Went away to the catcher from Murray State. Evans, a 5'8 freshman. He's from Wright City, Oklahoma. Batted .294 for Murray State this year after batting .344 last year. Had an OBP of .500 last year, .391 this year. Played in 14 games in 2020 and 47 in 2021. Has a first pitch strike from Gifford, and he's looking to move Hutchison over. We'll check over at Hutchison again, not in time. Gifford, a quick pickoff move, but Hutchison, better reaction. Over there by Larks' first-year assistant coach, Max McGuire. The 0-1 delivery to Evans. He's early on the off-speed swing. No balls and 2 strikes. Larks sporting their vintage cream uniforms for the 4th of July ball game. The blue number, red letters on the front. Boulder, white pants, light blue jerseys with the dark blue sleeves, and Brady Evans will be punched out on 3 pitches. So after a leadoff walk from Hutchison, there's been 2 quick outs retired, and Gifford has now struck out 6 in this ball game. Takes us to the bottom of the order. Brock Loomis, he's 0 for 1 with the strikeouts. Loomis had a breakout game a little bit ago against Boulder. Had a triple and another hit. Finished his day 2 for 2, and the game before that was against the Denver Cougars for him. He went 3 for 5 with a single, a double, and a home run. Was finished his day just a triple shy of the cycle. Thinks about swinging on this one, holds up as it's off the glove of Fisher and goes into foul territory. Palmer Hutchison will stay at first, and it's a 1-1 count to Brock Loomis. 2 for the Collegians in the bottom of the 4th inning in the game that's moving along quickly will be Gazdar, D, and Fisher. If it will go home from the stretch, the 1-1 above the letters. Good eye from Loomis, 2-1. Loomis made 4 plate appearances last year for the Larks in 3 games, picked up a walk, and had 4 total quality at-bats. Appeared in 1 game in 2019 for the Larks, made 1 plate appearance, and walked in that game as well. This one delivery high and inside, 3-1. For Frank Leo, it was last year that Brock Loomis played for him. That was his junior year. And in that year for Loomis under head coach Frank Leo, Brock batted .333, had 11 extra base hits in 22 games, and was Hayes High's male outstanding athlete of the year, and was a Western Athletic Conference all-conference first-team selectee. Sends this one to left field. Is going to bloop over the head of Gazdar, and Hutchison goes to second base. 2 Hayes High alumni on the base paths with 2 outs as we go to the top of the order. Tyler Palmer. Palmer out of Columbus, Nebraska, plays for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout and a walk. Had a great home run in yesterday's ball game, and is looking to repeat his success in this AV against Gifford. This will be the Larks' 3rd time through the order, starting now with Palmer. Loomis now 1 for 2 in the day. Hutch at second. Loomis at first. 2 outs, top of the 4th, 2-2 ball game. Gifford takes a long look at Hutchison, goes home. And this one's at the letters, and Palmer sends it off the top of his bat to the backstop. No balls and a strike. Harrison on deck with Davis in the hole for Hayes. Larks scored all of their runs in the first inning, and they're trying to tack on some more here after Boulder tied the game in the last inning. The 0-1 delivery to Palmer. He swings at 1, can't make contact on the breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes. Palmer had a career batting average in Columbus of .360 before taking his talents to Lincoln. Gifford looks at Hutchison, sends this one to Palmer, who sends it over to the left side. It's going close to the foul line, and chasing it is D and Upstill. That's Gazdar and Upstill. Neither of them will make the catch. It bounces off of the tarp, and it will stay at 0-2 for Tyler Palmer. It was almost to second base, and he goes back to the batter's box now, and we'll get a 4th pitch to him. Larks trying to keep this inning alive. So he'll take his time, get back into the right-hander's batter's box. Down 0-2, 2 on, 2 outs. Looking for his first hit of the day, and looking to get aboard for the 2nd time. This one will miss the outside corner, 1-2, good eye from Palmer. Both runs have been scored by to 3 and 4 hitters in the order. Davis scored 1, Lawson scored 1, and Lawson has the lone RBI of the day for Hayes. 1-2 is the count. Gifford, righty versus righty, goes home, and Palmer takes this one inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good eye on the last 2 pitches for Ty. Palmer spent this past semester redshirting for Nebraska, just like the guy at first base, Brock Loomis, redshirted for Butler. Opens the stance. The 2-2 delivery with 2 away. Comes home, and it misses outside. After being down 0-2, he fouls one off and takes 3 straight balls. It'll be a 7-pitch AB, and we'll get a payoff pitch. Hutchison walked to lead off this inning. Then Brown flew out. Evans struck out. Loomis singled. And that brings us to Tyler Palmer. And we'll get a payoff pitch from Gifford. Gifford's pitch count at 84 now. Pitch number 85 is a payoff pitch down. Palmer cranks to left field. Up still is at the warning track. And Tyler Palmer with his second home run in 2 days. Hits him with the backflip and puts the Larks up 5-2. He cranked that one, and he knew it, and the Larks have a 3-run lead. What a great at-bat for Palmer. Was down 0-2, found one off to stay alive, 3 straight balls, and on the payoff pitch, punished Gifford, and the Larks have their 3rd home run of this series. It's Tyler Palmer's 2nd on the series and 2nd of the season. Drives home 3, brings home Loomis and Hutchison. And the Larks, again, up 5-2. Larks have 27 home runs on the season now. You can clear the bases. 2 outs. Base is empty for Cam Pearson. For Tyler Palmer, he just picked up RBIs 3, 4, and 5. Scored run number 6. Hutchison scored run number 15, and Brock Loomis scored his 2nd run of the year. Loomis, no courtesy runner, since Larks have such a short bench today. This one on the 0-1 delivery will be off the plate, 1-1 to Cam Pearson. Pearson on the day 0-2. He's one of 2 Larks in the starting 9 to not be aboard yet in this game. So, 2 outs. Larks going to single in a home run, a great 2-out rally just like they did in the first inning. And the 1-1 to Pearson, high and outside, 2-1. Larks scored most of their runs yesterday, late in the ball game. And they've scored 5 here in the first 4 innings. Two one, swung on a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Larks have 5 hits in this ball game, 3 walks, 5 runs. They left 3 runners on base in the first 3 innings. And Cam Pearson looking to get aboard for the first time today. The 2-2 delivery with 2 away and a 5-2 lead. Off speed that hangs way above the letters at the eyes of Pearson over the plate. And Gifford misses location there. We get the 2nd straight payoff pitch to 2 straight batters. Tyler Palmer cranked his last one for a home run. See what Pearson does with his payoff pitch. He lines it up the middle, and the Larks have 3 straight hits with 2 outs. There's a runner at first with 2 outs. And now 8 Larks have been aboard today.
Now batting number 16.
All right, teeing off of Gifford here in the 4th inning. This will be Davis to the dish. He's the 7th hitter of the inning. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored, a single, and a walk. Scored the Larks' first run of the first inning. And Pearson at first base. Lawson on deck, crowned the hole for Hayes. Check over at Pearson, not in time. First delivery to Davis will be a called strike 1. Davis got that single in the 3rd inning, pushed his hitting streak now to 10 games. That's the longest anybody's had this season. Kraut, who's in the hole, has his second longest hitting streak now at 6 games. And Davis cranks this one to right field. Rucco is at the warning track, jumps up, and will make a nice catch and robs Davis of extra bases. And that sends us to the bottom of the 4th. Tyler Palmer cranks a 3-run home run to cap off the 4th inning, and Hayes leads by 3 as we move to the bottom half of the 4th in Boulder. Bottom of the 4th, Luke Terbeek back to the mound for his 4th inning as a 1-1 count against John Gazdar. Gazdar on the day 0 for 1. This will be the 14th hitter that Terbeek has faced in this ball game. Larks brought 7 to the plate in the 4th inning. They left a runner on base in each of the first 4 innings. They're through their 3rd time through the order, and they've brought 21 to the plate through their first innings. 2-2 pitch is going to be flown to right field and out of play, and Terbeek will throw his 6th pitch. Sean D on deck with Garrett Fisher in the hole for Boulder. Swung on and missed, and Terbeek picks up strikeout number 3 on the day on pitch number 5 to Gazdar. That's number 25 on the season for Terbeek. And just a remarkable start to the season for Terbeek. Has now thrown 21 2/3 and has struck out 25 and still hasn't allowed a single walk. And that is crazy when you consider that he's a knuckleballer. Knuckleballers seem to walk more guys than people who don't throw a knuckleball. But Terbeek, the lone guy in the Larks rotation to not walk a single guy. 1 ball and a strike as the 1-0 delivery to D is going to be fouled off. D on the day, 0 for 1. He struck out against Terbeek back in the 2nd inning. Terbeek paints the outside low corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the 3rd baseman from the University of Illinois at Chicago. The 1-2 home fastball, same spot, just a little lower. 1-2 becomes 2-2. The 2's delivery flown into center field. Tyler Palmer immediately moves back and makes a leaping catch in center field. And Terbeek has now retired 4 straight Collegians, and there's 2 away with the bases empty. Garrett Fisher to the box now. He's 0 for 1. He flew up to Tyler Palmer back in the 2nd inning and is getting his 2nd look at Terbeek. Terbeek pitched against the Collegians on June 23rd, went 4 innings in the start, allowed just 1 earned run, giving up 5 hits, striking out 4 guys. The 1-0 outside part of the plate, 1 ball and a strike. This is Terbeek's 3rd start of the year in 7 appearances. Thrown outside here in this inning, this one will miss outside 2-1. Tariq has now allowed 25 hits this year, just as many strikeouts, no walks, has 6 earned runs. This one's fouled to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He allowed 1 run in the first, 1 in the third, and is looking to keep him quiet here in the 4th inning. Is 1 strike away from doing it, and the 2-2 delivery off speed popped into the infield. Palmer Hutchison rolls into the outfield and will scoop it like a snow cone, and we've seen quite a few fielders today have the sun in their eyes and have to make some late adjustments. Hutchison, who's been so solid defensively for the Larks, makes some nice adjustments at the last second and records out number 3. That's Ter Beeks. Second 1-2-3 inning. He sends us to the 5th. Hayes up by 3. Top of the 5th we go. Cortland Lawson will lead it off. Lawson the day, 1 for 2 with a triple and a fly out. 1 run scored, 1 run driven in. New pitcher into the game for the Collegians is Ian Isdale. This is the 2nd appearance against the Larks on the mound for him. And this will be the 3rd time I've seen him pitch this year. Got to see him pitch against my school, K-State, when K-State beat the Northern Colorado Bears 8-2 in Manhattan. He threw 2 innings in that game and had no earned runs. And against the Larks, he threw 2 1/3 and didn't give up any earned runs in Hayes. No balls and 2 strikes as Isdale hitting the zone here in against his first batter of the ball game. So it's a day for Grayson Gifford. 4 innings, 5 runs scored, 4 of those earned. And the Larks have a 5-2 lead, 1-2 to Lawson. Isdale was rated the 2nd best left-handed pitcher coming out of Colorado. He's from Parker, Colorado, and had a perfect game grade of 8. So they had him as the 2nd best left-handed pitcher on perfect game and the 20th overall player in the States. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Lawson. Lawson fouls this one off, and we'll get a sixth pitch. This is Isdale's sixth appearance of the season. He's thrown 13 innings, 1 start. That was against the Lumberjacks. He's 1-0 on the year. He still hasn't given up an earned run this season. A 2-2 from the southpaw outside, and Lawson works a full count. Larks had 2 full counts in the 4th inning, and they both resulted in hits. Pearson singled, and Palmer had a 3-run home run. Sam Crow on deck with Palmer Hutchison in the hole for Hayes. The payoff pitch outside, and a great at-bat from Lawson. Again, the Larks being down 0-2, work a walk just like Palmer Hutchison did in the 4th inning, and the Larks have their 2nd straight leadoff base runner. Takes us to Sam Crow. Crow on the day 0 for 2. He reached on an error in the 1st and struck out in the 3rd. So it's a day for Grayson Gifford. He throws 94 pitches over the course of 4 innings. 6 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, 4 earned runs. Crow from UTA facing off against the Northern Colorado Bear. Lawson in lead at first, and we'll get a pickoff attempt, not in time. Isdale takes a long look at Lawson. The southpaw goes from the stretch. Misses outside. 2-0 count. Now to Sam Crow. Hutchison on deck with Brown in the hole for Hayes. Isdale looks home, gets the signs from Fisher. And we'll go from the stretch. The 2-0 delivery outside, 3-0. And after throwing 2 straight strikes to Court Lawson to start his outing, has thrown 6 consecutive balls. And out of NCAA event, the student section would be chanting ball 6. A quick visit between Fisher and Isdale. We'll see Ter Beek back for the 5th inning for Hayes. He's thrown just 54 pitches through his first 4 innings. And it's a 3-0 count to Crow. Larks run-rolled the Collegians yesterday 16-6, and they're looking for win number 2 in Boulder in 2021. The 3-0 delivery will be over the outside corner, 3-1. Hitters count now for the first baseman from Heath, Texas. Taking off from first base is Cortland Lawson. He's going to go to second, and the single to left field is going to put him at third base. A great 3-1 swing from Sam Crow on the hit and run. Runners on the corners with nobody out. 7th hit of the ball game for Hayes, the first one that Isdale has allowed, and there's runners on the corners. For Palmer Hutchison. Hutchison 0 for 1 today with a walk, a strikeout, and a run scored. This delivery to Hutchison outside, 1-0. Hutch out to KCKs from Hayes, Kansas. Talked about some of his stats earlier. He only played 17 games in the shortened 2020 season, had 12 RBIs, and in the 51 games in 2021 picked up a team-leading 62 RBIs for KCK. Swings at the 1-0 delivery and sends it out to play, 1-1. Cade Brown on deck with Brady Evans in the hole for Hayes. Larks looking to add on to their lead, and they're in a great position to do so. We're at the 6th hole. Lawson at third, and Corral at first. Corners in on the infield. As anything grounded could maybe score Lawson. 1-1 becomes 1-2. Hutchison takes this one at the letters. This one's going to be flied into right field. Ruocco gets under. It's tagging at third base is Lawson. And Ruocco stumbles back as he makes the catch and doesn't put himself in position to throw out Lawson. And it's a sacrifice fly for Hutch. And the Larks take a 6-2 lead now. Lawson scores his second run of the day, and Hutchison picks up his first RBI of the day. One away, Hayes up by 4. For Cortland Lawson, that is run scored number 7 this season, scored number 6 back in the first inning. And for Palmer Hutchison, that is RBI number 14. Hutchison has doubled his runs driven in from last year. Last year, he had 7 RBIs in 28 games. Here in 17 games, he has 14. No balls and 2 strikes to Cade Brown. Brown was standing by Brady Evans as they were getting ready with Brown in the hole and Evans on deck. And there was a full 8-inch gap between them. Brown stands at 6'4", Brady Evans at 5'8", and Brown, 6'4", righty from Oklahoma, has a 1-2 count against Isdale. Growl at first base with 1 away, off speed outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one's going to be swung on and missed, and Cade Brown is down on strikes for just the 11th time this year, and he has more walks than strikeouts. That's a great sign. He goes back to dugout, 0 for 3. 2 away, Sam Crown at first with Brady Evans coming to the dish. He's 1 for 2 in the day. He tripled back in the second inning with 1 away, and then was thrown out trying to come home. Struck out in his last AB versus Gifford. That was in the 4th inning. And this will be his first look at Isdale. First delivery, a breaking ball that catches the outside high corner, 0-1. Due for the Collegians in the bottom of the 5th inning will be Ruocco, Upstill, and Vogel, 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Isdale looks home from Fisher and the 0-1 delivery. In each of the games against the Larks, the Collegians have pulled their catcher after the 5th inning, and we'll see if Fisher stays in past this inning. 1-1 is the count to Evans. Evans was supposed to catch this game. Loomis was supposed to play in right field. But after a late adjustment, Cade Brown goes to right field, Brady Evans goes to third base, and Brock Loomis is the catcher. A 2-1 becomes a 3-1 count as the fastball misses outside. It's a hitter's count for the third baseman from Oklahoma. From Wright City, Oklahoma. 3-1. Check swing from Evans, sends it to the right backstop, and it's a full count. Larks have been great on payoff pitches today, and Evans will get one from Isdale, having a great at-bat. Larks have worked the pitch counts high, both Gifford and Isdale. Through 2/3 of an innings for Isdale, he's thrown 25 pitches. Gifford has thrown 94 through his first 4 innings. And for Terbeek on the mound for the Larks, has gone 4 innings and thrown just 54 pitches. The 2-2 is going to hit Brady Evans in the elbow, and that'll be a free base for the third baseman. So the payoff pitch could have taken it inside, and instead he elects to let it hit him. And that is the second time Evans will be aboard on a hit by pitch this season. And there's 2 on with 2 outs. Moving to second base is Crow. And the Larks have their third base runner of the inning. Brock Loomis to the dish. Loomis on the day, 1 for 2 with a run scored and a strikeout. He scored on the Tyler Palmer 3-run home run. Isdale goes home. Loomis sends it to the foul, to the backstop, right on the bull that holds it up, and it clangs off of it, and he has an 0-1 count. (6-2) ball game here in the top of the 5th in Boulder, Colorado. Larks Scored 4 runs in the last 2 innings. And Isdale will go home from the stretch. Nice breaking ball, drops into the zone, no balls and 2 strikes to Loomis. Loomis looking for his second hit of the day. Will have to protect the plate. He has 7 hits this year, 3 singles, 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. The 0-2 delivery from Isdale, a breaking ball that Loomis protects the plate, reaches outside and sends it to the backstop, 0-2. Get a 4th pitch to Loomis. Shares a laugh with the home plate umpire and gets back into the right-hander's batter's box. Tyler Palmer on deck with Pearson in the hole for Hayes. He reaches low for this one again. Swings at one he would have left out earlier. And protects the plate and has fouled off 2 straight pitches. We've seen 4 pitches in this AB. 2 strikes, 2 foul balls. And Isdale will throw pitch number 5 to Loomis. He's now thrown 30 pitches. 16 of those in the zone. 0-2 below the knees. Loomis has a 1-2 count. Isdale gets the signs from Fisher. And Isdale gives him a nod. And the 1-2 delivery from the southpaw from the stretch. Swung on and missed. Loomis down on strikes for the second time today. Larks get 2 runners on to lead off the 5th inning. They score just 1, but they take a 6-2 lead as we're halfway through the game here in Boulder. Bottom of the 5th, 1 pitch to Ruocco is grounded right at Cortland Lawson. 1 pitch and 1 out for Luke Terbeek in his 5th inning of work. Ruocco now 0 for 2 on the day. Takes us to the bottom of the order. Nick Umstill, he's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Be his second look at Terbeek. Gets into the left-hander's batter's box and takes a strike 1 called. Terbeek baits the outside low corner. Beek been great with his locations all day. Has thrown 55 pitches, 40 of those strikes. Doesn't throw a whole lot of balls, and because of that, hasn't walked a single batter all year. This one is going to be fouled into the left field corner. No balls and 2 strikes now to Umstill, the left fielder out of San Francisco State. Upstill had a home run in yesterday's ball game, drove in 2 of the 6 runs for Boulder, and is looking for his second hit. Terbeek is looking for strikeout number 4 on the day on this 0-2 delivery. The righty goes home. Nice off-speed pitch. Going to be fouled, not fouled, lined into center field. Great pitch from Terbeek. Just a nice swing from Upstill. He's now 2 for 2 on the day, and there's a runner on first with 1 out. Takes us to the top of the order. Vogel. On the day, he's 1 for 2 with a flyout to Cam Pearson and a single. He got all the way to third base but was left there. Four-run lead for Hayes. Bottom of the 5th with 1 away. And every time a base runner gets on against Terbeek, before he throws a first pitch, he checks on him, and he does the same thing here to Upstill. He slides in safely, and now Terbeek will shift his attention to Ryan Vogel. Goes home, fastball low and outside, 1-0. Terbeek 4 1/3, 3 strikeouts, no walks, 2 earned runs, and 5 hits. Has started off 10 of the 18 batters he's faced with a first pitch strike, and make it 10 for 19 now. Does hit the zone here against Vogel, and it's a 1-1 count. Check over at first. Again, Upstill's in standing up. Up and moving in the pen for Hayes will be Trevor Munch, southpaw who last pitched for Wichita State. Off speed, breaking ball popped over to the right side. Brown, Hutchison, and Crown move towards it. Hutchison slides in foul territory, and it'll drop. A great effort from the second baseman. Ran a long ways, probably 40 yards, 30, 40 yards right there, and slides. But can't make the catch, but it's in foul territory, so it's all right. 1-2 count now for Vogel. Vogel out of Bradley University, and Terbeek just keeping Upstill honest over there at first base. Larks running on the road trip, looking to go 2-0 today. They have a 4-run cushion. As this one's ground to Lawson. The ground throws to Hutchison for 1 at to first. Not in time. Could have been a 6-4-3 double play. Larks have turned 1 double play today, but they don't get number 2 here. Upstill will be out. And Vogel's aboard on the second time today, reaching on a fielder's choice. 2-away runner at first, and the bottom of the 5th. Larks have 13 outs to go with a 4-run lead. To look to add on in the 6th. Due up for Hayes will be the top of the order, Palmer, Pearson, and Divis. 2-out single now for Miguel as he takes it off the sweet spot of his bat into center field. He's now 1 for 3. And that's his 3rd time he'll be aboard. Puts Vogel at second. 2 on, 2 out. To the dish now is Alec Ackerman. He struck out in the first inning and then had a 6-4-3 double play in the 3rd inning. Chatterton on deck with Gazdar in the hole. Righty versus righty. Beak goes home. Curveball above the letters, 1-0. Beak looks home, gives Loomis a nod. Loomis sets up down the middle. The 1-0 delivery is right down the pipe. Called strike 1. 1 ball and a strike to Ackerman, the DH, out of San Jose State. It's one of a couple guys on the San Jose State roster for the Collegians. Loomis will elect to throw to second as there's a double steal, and the throw is going to be got by Hutchison away from the bag, and that will be stolen base number 2 and 3 on the day for the Collegians, and there's 2 in scoring position. They're aggressive on the base bats. 2 in scoring position, 2 outs, 2-1 counts to the 3-hole. Beak looks in, gives Loomis a nod, and the 2-1 outside, 3-1. Munch meandering around in the bullpen, and now is starting to throw a little bit to Core Jackson. 3-1 outside is going to be Luke Terabek's first walk of the whole season. He has thrown 23 innings now officially, and that's his first walk. And coming out of the Larks dugout will be Keith Harper to have a chat with his pitcher. We'll take a quick pause and be back. Bases loaded, 2 outs. This one's going to be grounded to Cortland Lawson. Nice play from the shortstop. Moves all the way behind second base. And Terabek, after the mound visit with Keith Harper, throws one pitch. Leaves the bases loaded in the 5th inning. And doesn't allow a run. Has thrown 5 innings, 2 earned runs. As we go to the 6th, Hayes leads by 4. Top of the 6th, top of the order for Hayes. Tyler Palmer leading off. He's 1 for 2 today with a walk, a strikeout, and a home run. Drove in 3 runs on 1 swing of the bat on a payoff pitch in the 4th inning. New pitcher into the game for the Boulder Collegians is Carter Henninger out of San Jose State. It's a first pitch strike here to the Nebraska Cornhusker. Henninger has pitched against the Larks previously. That was on June 22nd through 1 inning and allowed 1 hit, 2 earned runs, walked 2 guys. Has an ERA of 3.45 and a whip of 1.53 on the season. And he's going to strike out Tyler Palmer on 3 pitches. Strikeout number 2 on the day for Palmer. And there is 1 away in the top of the 6th. Cam Pearson to the dish. He is 1 for 3 with a single. 8 of the Larks 9 have been aboard today at some point. Pearson was the latest to do so back in the 4th inning. He was number 8. 7 guys got aboard in the first 3 innings for Hayes. The 1-0 delivery over the outside corner, 1-1 to Pearson from Gilbert, Arizona, committed to Fort Hays State. Was a 5A Arizona Baseball Coaches Association All-Star and a first-team selectee All-State. And was an All-Region first team. And he's down 1-2 in the count, and so far, the first 2 batters, Henninger is looking nice. After struggling against the Larks almost 2 weeks ago. Davis on deck with Lawson in the hole for Hayes. Holds the ball behind his back, gets his grip in his glove, goes from the windup, the 1-2 delivery to Pearson, a fastball inside, 2-2. Pearson got to first base with 2 outs in the 4th inning as part of 3 straight hits for Hayes in that inning with 2 outs, but was stranded there. The 1-2 fastball will catch the outside part of the plate, and that's 2 straight strikeouts for the Boulder Collegians with Carter Henninger on the mound. 3 straight strikeouts when you go back to the 5th inning. 2 outs, bases empty for Wyatt Divis. Divis, great hitter, a patient hitter. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single, a walk, and a run scored. Henninger will go from the windup. Divis digs into left-hander's batter's box. Off speed on a breaking ball. Catches the outside part of the plate. 0-1. So the 3rd pitcher into the game for the Collegians. Gifford threw 4. Isdale threw 1. And Henninger has now thrown 2/3 on 8 pitches. 6 in the zone. And he has an 0-1 count. Versus Divis. Fastball over the outside part of the plate. Divis holds up his swing and is down 0-2. Duo for Boulder in the bottom of the 6th will be Gazdar, D, and Fisher. Going from the windup is Henninger, misses way outside on a fastball, 1-2. Has thrown fastball on a lot of his pitches in this inning. Fisher slides for it. Loses his glove, and we'll get back behind the dish. A 1-2 delivery. Henninger goes home off speed just outside. Spun around, thought he had the call from the umpire. Instead, it's a 2-2 count with 2 away. Larks up 6-2, and they're looking to score their 7th run. Could be their 5th run in the past 3 innings. But they're 1 strike away from going to the bottom of the 6th. The 2-2 delivery to Divis. Swung on and missed. And Henninger strikes out the side in the 6th inning. We go to the bottom half. Hayes up by 4. Bottom of the 6th. It's a day for Luke Terabeke after 5 innings and 3 strikeouts. New pitcher in the game is Trevor Munch, and Brady Evans has some trouble with one at third base, and Gazdar is going to reach for the first time today. Reaches on an error, and there's a leadoff base runner. Munch, a 6'4" southpaw from Lawrence, Kansas. This is his 3rd year with the Larks. Pitched for Wichita State in his last collegiate appearance. And also pitched for the University of Oklahoma and McLennan Junior College. Made 2 appearances for the Oklahoma Sooners on the mound in 2018 after redshirting in 2017. And to the plate is Sean D. Sends this one to left field. Cam Pearson loses it, and Tyler Palmer is going to get to it on the warning track. Cortland Lawson cuts off the throw, and there will be no throw home. It's going to be an unearned run for Trevor Munch. It's a no-out double, and scoring from third base is Gazdar, and D picks up an RBI. It's a 6-3 game now in Boulder. Munch from Lawrence, Kansas. This is appearance number 6 for him. His 5th straight appearance in relief. Showing bunt is Garrett Fisher, the catcher. He's 0 for 2 in the day against Luke Terabeke, and Munch misses the zone here 1-0. Munch has an ERA of 3.86 and a whip of 1.43. No decisions on the season for him. Showing bunts again is Fisher. He pulls back 2-0. Munch has struck out 8 and walked 4 this year through 7 innings. Last year with the Larks, Munch made 10 appearances. He went 2-2, struck out 11 through 13 2/3. This one's going to be hit to center field. Tyler Palmer sprints towards it. He's not going to be able to make the catch. Gets it off the grass, and that's 2 straight doubles for Boulder, and the Larks' lead is cut to 2 runs. And Wyatt Divis is going to make his way to the bullpen with Max Castellucci. 3 straight base runners. That will be the first earned run of the day for Munch. Scoring is Sean D. And Garrett Fisher picks up an RBI. Munch pitched against the Collegians on the 23rd through 1 inning and 1 earned run. Munch misses the zone here 1-0. Rucco at the plate. He's 0 for 2. And Munch goes home. Showing bunt is Rucco. Loomis will throw down to first. He will let the runner get there. And there's been 4 straight base runners. Well-placed bunts on the bunt and run. And there's runners on the corners with nobody out. And the Collegians have some momentum. Will be officially ruled a single. Moving to third is Fisher. Rucco at first. Munch will get back on the rubber. Sets up on the third base side of it. Looks home, gets the signs from Loomis. Larks leading 6-4 here in the bottom of the 6th. And this one is going to be off Loomis's chest protector. And moving to second base will be Rucco. 1-1. And Divis using the resistant bands to get his arm ready out there in the right field pen. Has Leo Geminian and Max Castellucci and Cord Jackson out there to catch for him. The 1-0 from Munch. Check swing as it drops slowly off speed. Misses 2-0. Now 2-1. Snake upstill at the dish. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Be the 5th batter Munch faces. This delivery is swung on and missed. And now it's 1-2. Top of the order on deck, and Ryan Vogel with Miguel in the hole. Tying run at second base. Munch looks home. The 1-2 delivery swung on a miss, and Munch picks up another strikeout. Loomis looks the runner back to third and throws to first, and there's one away.
Now batting center fielder number 1, Ryan Vogel.
For T. Munch, that was strikeout number 9 on the season through 7 1/3. Just one of the 2 runs against Munch count as an earned run. He's now thrown 11 pitches, 7 of those strikes. Tierbeek finishes his day 5 innings pitched, 69 pitches, 48 of those in the zone. 3 strikes on 70% of his pitches, 7 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. Munch, the second pitcher. Boulder has thrown 3 pitchers, and it's an 0-1 count to the top of the order. Vogel, he's been aboard his last 2 times, pops this one up over to the right side and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to the center fielder from Bradley. Middle infield playing back for Hayes. And that error from Evans got some momentum for Boulder. Then 2 straight doubles really got things going, but Munch gets a strikeout and is looking for strikeout number 2 right here with an 0-2 count. He'll step off the rubber and motion for a new sign from Loomis. The southpaw looks home, shakes off sign number 1, and agrees on number 2. Loomis sits up inside, and the 0-2 delivery is going to miss inside, and they will say it caught the inside corner. Nice pitch from Munch. He paints the corner, and Vogel's going to be down on strikes for the first time today. Munch has strikeout consecutive Collegians, and there's 2 away with 2 in scoring position. Brings up Brady Miguel. He is 2 for 3 on the day, reaching on an error in the third, and picks up 2 singles. And now Munch is tossing the ball around in the outfield. Divis is tossing the ball around in the outfield bullpen. Off-speed misses low here to Miguel, 1-0. Do it for the Larks in the 7th inning, trying to extend their lead. Will be the heart of the order, 4, 5, and 6, Lawson, Crowell, and Hutchison. 1-0. This one's popped over to the left side. Pearson chases it. It's going to be in foul territory. He slows up in front of the line and watches it go out of play. 1-1. Boulder has 3 hits in this inning, 9 total on the day. They picked up 1 walk, and they've scored 4 runs. They left a total of 5 guys on base, and they're looking to not leave 2 on in this inning. Munch shakes off Loomis, and the runner's going to go home, and Munch completely misses the glove of Loomis. Could have gotten an easy out right there. Instead, the run will score on the mistake. It's now 6-5, and the runner moves to scoring position. Now, scoring from third was Fisher, and that was a simple mistake from the Larks that cost them a run. The first 3 hitters of this inning have each scored, and the 4th hitter of the inning is at third base in Rucco. And now Davis is full-fledged warming up in right field. The 2-1 from Munch fouled back, and we'll go 2-2. Munch will get some new ball, and he'll go 2-2 with 2 away. Runner in scoring position at third base. The Larks have a 6-5 lead. Terbeek in position to pick up win number 1 of the season, and the Larks want to keep the lead and give him that win. He put him in a great position to win against the Sox when the Larks lost their first game of the season, blowing a 5-run lead in the 8th. Munch is going to take this one and hit Miguel off the number 8 on his jersey, and there's runners on the corners, and if I'm Keith Harper, I'm coming out of the dugout and having a chat with Trevor Munch, but he likes to let his pitchers work and figure it out on their own, and he's going to leave Munch out there, and there's runners on the corners with 2 away. That is the second batter that Munch has hit this year through 7 2/3. And Keith Harper will come out of the dugout, and we'll have a quick break here on Larks Network. Bottom of the sixth. Runners on the corners with two away. New pitcher into the game is Wyatt Divis. Pitched against the Collegians on the 23rd, threw 3 1/3, and took the game into extra innings and was solid until that extra inning where the Larks allowed 6 runs. He had 2 earned runs in that game. Comes in this game with a 2.13 ERA. This is appearance number 7, and his third in relief. Runner takes off from first. Divis misses outside on a fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Legions have stolen a lot of bases. They're up in double digits on this series. Alec Ackerman to the dish. He's the first batter that Divis will face. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a walk, a double play, and a strikeout. Also drove in a run on that double play. Divis is a master of the slider, has a 1-1 count, and throws one right there and gets a swing and a miss, 1-2 counts. Chatterton on deck if the Collegians need him. Divis looking to end this inning and pick up strikeout number 31 on the season right here. Has struck out 30 through 25 1/3. And this one's going to be flying into center field. Tyler Palmer will get under it, and Divis will go back to the first base dugouts and ends the 6th inning. Hayes allows 3 runs, 2 of those earned for Trevor Munch, and we go to the 7th inning. Hayes up by 1 on Larks Network. Top of the 7th from Boulder, Colorado. Leading off for the Larks will be Cortland Lawson. Cortland on the day, 1 for 2 with a walk, a triple, and 2 runs scored along with an RBI. It'll be his first look at Carter Henninger on the day, 1-0, as Henninger misses outside. Lawson into the right-hander's batter's box, righty versus righty. 2 pitches, both miss outside, 2-0. On deck for Hayes is Sam Crowell with Palmer Hutchison in the hole. Larks took a 6-2 lead into the 6th inning and gave up 3 runs. They're up by just 1 here in the 7th. Henninger from the windup will catch the zone, pitching outside to Lawson in this AB. Lawson checks with the umpire and will adjust his zone. 2-1 from Henninger. Lawson waits on it, sends it to right field. Rucco moves under it and will make the catch in right field for out number 1. Lawson now 1 for 3. Takes it to Sam Crowell. He singled in the 5th inning and moved his hitting streak to 7 games. And is looking to get aboard for the 3rd time today in this top half of the 7th inning. Henninger holds the ball behind his back while he gets the sign from Fisher, grips it in his glove, and goes home. This one almost catches Sam Crowell. They will say it did catch his jersey. He tosses his elbow guard to the dugout and will take first base. For Henninger, that is the 3rd batter he's hit this season. And for Sam Crowell, that is going to be the first time he's plunked this season. Hutchison to the dish has an 0-1 count. Palmer on the day is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and a walk. Drove in a run on that sacrifice fly, and then he scored a run in the inning before that on the Tyler Palmer 3-run home run. He has an 0-2 count. Cade Brown on deck with Brady Evans in the hole. Hutchison late on this swing, sends it into the parking lot. We get a 4th pitch here to Hutch against Henninger. Righty versus righty. Henninger goes home. Off speed is going to be drove into right field. Sam Crowell jogs to second base. And there's 2 on with 1 out. Palmer Hutchison will be the first guy to get a hit against Henninger. And that is his first hit of the day. Moves his hitting streak now to 2 games. Crowell at second. Hutchison at first with Cade Brown to the dish. Brown is the lone Lark to not get aboard today. He's 0 for 3 with a flyout to Upstill and a Vogel and a strikeouts. Henninger will now be facing his 7th batter. Struck out his first 3. Struck out the side in the 6th inning. Has hit a batter and allowed a hit. Has his back turned to Cade Brown, looking at Crowell, and Brown wants time. Brown at the back of the right-hander's batter's box. We get his first pitch from Henninger. Check swing on this one as it's in the zone. Called strike, and the ball gets away from Henninger on the toss back from Fisher. Crowell and Hutchison stay where they're at. Larks fans, be sure to follow the Larks on Twitter and like the Larks on Facebook. And then subscribe while you're on YouTube. We put these streams out for free, but subscribing really helps us out. It's free to subscribe. You won't get any notifications or emails from us. Unless you hit that notification bell, then you'll get notified each time we go live on the YouTube app. The 0-1 to Cade Brown. It comes 0-2 as it's in the zone. No balls and 2 strikes to the first baseman, who's moved into right field in this game out of the University of Oklahoma. Henninger looks home. Fisher gives him the sign, sits up right down the middle. Henninger gives a look at Crowell, goes home, And Brown checks his swing. He's going to be down on strikes for a second straight AB and is now 0 for 4. Fourth strikeout on the day for Henninger, and there's 2 away. That brings up Brady Evans. He's 1 for 2 in the day with a strikeout, a triple, and a hit by pitch. One of 2 guys to be hit by a pitch in the past 3 innings for Hayes. First pitch above the letters, 1-0. Due for the Collegians in the bottom of the 7th inning will be Jannerton, Gazdar, and D, 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Brady Evans spent the past 2 years at Murray State College in Oklahoma. Had 2 great seasons. He's having a good season here in Hayes and has a 1-1 count. Evans, 6 singles on the season, 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. One of those triples was back in the 2nd inning of this game. And then he lines this one down the third base line, and they will say it's just foul. It was well hit. Looked to me like it could have been over the third base bag. Home plate umpire will say differently, and we'll go 1-2. Well read for Evans, and Henninger 1 strike away from ending the 7th inning, top of the 7th inning. Hayes up by 1. They have 2 errors and 8 hits. Boulder 1 error and 9 hits. Henninger looks home. Evans waits his 1-2 delivery. It's above the letters at the eyes of Evans. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 on in the top of the 7th. 6-5 lead for the Hayes Larks. Henninger will go 2-2. It's a swing and a miss from Brady Evans. They will say he found that one off. So good job of Evans to stay alive there and keep this inning going and keep Henninger on the mound. Henninger 1 2/3, 29 pitches now. And Boulder, their 3 pitchers through 6 2/3 have thrown a combined 157 pitches. As for the Larks, through 6 innings, just 92 pitches. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Henninger looks home. And we'll go home to Brady Evans. The 2's delivery is about at the letters. And Evans again fouls this one off with 2 strikes on him and stays alive. Good AB for the third baseman from Murray State. Brock Loomis on deck with Tyler Palmer in the hole. Crowd with his lead at second. Hutchison gets his lead at first. Henninger goes home. Evans checks his swing. And the umpire in the base path says he didn't go. This has been a great at-bat for Brady Evans, and he has a full count. Larks, again, have been great on payoff pitches this past series. They have 2 hits on payoff pitches in this game. 2 of those were in the 4th inning. Both of those were in the 4th inning. And one of them was a home run. And Henninger looks at Crow for a while, goes home. And the payoff pitch to Evans with the runners taking off above the letters. And a great at-bat for Evans. He loads the bases. A hit by pitch, a single and a walk. Puts runners at third, second, and first. That's Crowell at third. Hutchison at second. Brady Evans at first. Is coming up to the plate now is Brock Loomis. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Has struck out 2 times and has 1 single. Big opportunity for Loomis. A 1-run lead. Anything in the outfield could score 2. Big gap in left center field for him. And Loomis wants a hit badly here. Has just 7 hits on the season. Sends this one on a bloop to right center field. Rucco will move in and make the catch at his eyes. And the Larks will leave the bases loaded. They've now left 9 guys on base through 7 innings. They have a 1-run lead as we move to the 7th inning stretch here from Boulder. Davis back to the mound after throwing 4 pitches and getting the last out of the 6th inning. Comes in the 7th. First delivery from Davis, a slider over the outside part of the plate. No balls and a strike. To Jackson Chatterton, the cleanup hitter. The second baseman is 1 for 3 on the day with 2 groundouts and a double. Gazdar on deck with D in the hole. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up. Davis misses outside, 1-1. Davis throws a slider in a lot of different ways. We'll look to use them in this 7th inning in the bottom half. Hayes up by 1. The 1-1 from Davis, a fastball below the knees, 2-1. Davis last year on the mound for Hayes had an ERA of .64, struck out 45 guys through 40 innings. In 11 appearances, had the best ERA among starters. The 2-1s flown to left center field. Pearson and Palmer move towards it, and Pearson runs in, makes the catch for out number 1. Boulder's down to their final 8 outs, down by 1. Boulder brought 8 guys to the plate in the 6th inning against Trevor Munch and Wyatt Davis and scored 3 runs with Munch on the mound. There's 1 away with the bases empty. Gazdar on the day has been aboard 3 times. Excuse me, he's 0 for 3. I was looking at the wrong guy. He's 0 for 3. Was aboard in the 6th inning when he reached on a Brady Evans error and he scored a run. Nice slider from Davis in the zone, called strike 1. Davis in his career at UTA didn't lose a single game. Finishes his career there 6-0 with 54 2/3 innings pitched. This last year, made 11 appearances for the Mavericks, struck out 12 through 14 innings. 0-2 is lined into left field. It's going to drop, and it's a 1-out base hit, the first hit Davis has allowed today. Gazdar has been aboard in the past 2 innings.
Now batting third baseman number 6, Gandhi.
So when you combined Davis's stats from UTA with Hutchison, his collegiate career, his final record is 17-3 on the rubber. Last year was 3-0 on the mound for the Larks, and in 2019 was 5-1. This is his 4th year in Hayes. He has a runner at first with 1 away. This one above the letters. Loomis stands up and looks. Gazdar back to first base, 1-0. D doubled in the 6th inning, brought home Gazdar. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. His first look at Wyatt Davis, and we'll get a slow check over, just keeping the runner honest. Davis tosses the ball to his first baseman, Sam Corral, teammates at UTA. The 1-0 delivery in the zone, called strike 1. Davis thrown 2/3 of an inning now, 10 pitches, 7 in the zone, no hits, 1 hit, no strikeouts, no walks. And this one will be a called strike 2. Stats show runner at first, but doesn't show that it got a hit on the Larks game changer. Either way, it's a 1-2 count to D. With the runner at first, 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. Hayes up 6-5. Davis, slider fouled off. Davis throws about 50% slider, 50% fastball, and then works the changeup in. But his slider takes on so many different forms, so many different velocities. Sometimes looks close to a curveball. Sometimes looks almost like a fastball. This one is going to be fouled off on the 1-2 and will stay 1-2. Davis is the 3rd pitcher of the game for Hayes, and Boulder has thrown just as many. Check over there at first. Davis want to keep the runner honest since Boulder has been so aggressive this series on the base paths. They've stolen 6 bases already through the first 6 1/3 innings. This one's popped over to the right field side. Hutchison goes back. Brown comes in. Hutchison records out number 2 in the grass. Second pop up to Palmer Hutchison on the day for Boulder. The other one was from Garrett Fisher. He did that in the 4th inning. He doubled in his last at-bat and flew out in his first at-bat. Scored in the 6th inning and also drove in a run on that double. There's 2 away. Boulder down to their final 7 outs, down by 1. Again, keeping the runner honest, shuffling back to first is Gazdar. Fisher, the catcher out of Northern Colorado, will get his first pitch from Divis. Divis always goes from the stretch. Runner takes off from first. Hit and run. Nothing will come from it as this one is fouled off. 0-1. Due for the Larks in the 8th inning, looking to add on to their lead as the top of the order, Palmer, Pearson, and Divis. Larks 13-4 this season, looking to go 14-4 here with a win today. Shake over at first, not in time. Divis very aware of Gazdar on the base paths. That wasn't well hit. It's the second single of the 7th inning for Boulder. A.J. Rucco to the dish. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the 6th inning. On the third, but was left there because Wyatt Divis came in and got us out of that jam. Fisher now 2 for 4 in the day with an RBI and a run scored. Chatterton, who led off the inning with the flat, was the lone guy to not hit for Boulder in the 6th inning. Divis goes home. This one is going to be fouled off, 0-1. Up still on deck if Boulder needs him. Divis looks home. Loomis sets up outside. And Divis will spin and look Gazdar back to second. He hustled in, but Lawson and Hutchison reach far from the bag. The 0-1 from Divis, just above the letters, inside, 1 ball and a strike. Divis, a veteran on the Larks, is one of the guys who's always out there giving advice to other players. Very smart player, has a bright career after his playing career, staying in the game of baseball. And has a 1-1 count here, gets a swing and a miss, a nice pitch that Rucco lost his balance on the swing, and it's a 1-2 count. Divis trying to get out of this inning. Divis has a team lead in strikeouts with 30 and is looking for 31 right here. Closest person to him in strikeouts is Jake Fitzgibbons with 23. This one on the 1-2 is going to be flown into center field. Palmer moves in on the grass and will record out number 3, the 2nd inning that Divis has thrown. That ends with a fly to Tyler Palmer, and that ends the 7th inning. Larks leave 2 on base. And we go to the 8th. Hayes up 6-5. Top of the eighth, top of the order. This will be the third inning that Palmer has led off. Tyler Palmer on the day, 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, a home run, and a walk. Drove in 3 runs back in the 4th inning and scored 1 on his home run to left field. 2 home runs on this series, both to left field. And a 1-0 from Henninger, misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. This is Henninger's 3rd inning on the rubber. Had a 1-2-3-6 and then faced 6 batters in the 7th. Had the bases loaded, but he left them like that. 2-0 outside, 3 balls, no strikes. He's struggling with his location against Palmer in this AB. He's faced all 9 of the guys in the Larks order, and now Palmer with an at-bat against him has a different approach, and the 3-0 delivery is a fastball right down the middle. He's taken all the way, 3-1. Henninger, 35 pitches, 23 strikes. And gets this one to get cranked into center field. Vogel moves back. He's at the warning track. And Tyler Palmer hits this one off the yellow on the wall. And that's going to be a home run for Palmer. That's the second time that ball has been hit off the yellow. But they didn't give Brady Evans the home run earlier. But they will give it to Tyler Palmer. And it's his second home run of the day. His 3rd of the series. An anticlimactic one. He thought it was a double. He'll touch them all and put the Larks up 7-5 here in Boulder, Colorado. Points to the sky, high fives Cam Pearson, and goes back to the dugout. Didn't have any home runs coming in to this road series, and he picks up 3 in his past 2 days. So now 4 RBIs on the day, 2 runs scored for Palmer, and he touches them all. Larks up by 2 now. Out one was hit straight at the 388 sign in center field at Larks Park. Would have been a flyout, but here it's a home run for Tyler Palmer. No balls and a strike to Cam Pearson. The second delivery to him. Pearson sends to left field. Out still moves in and to his right. He gets under it and records out number 1. That's the 3rd flyout that Henninger has gone today. This will be the 3rd batter he faces in the 8th. It's Wyatt Divis, the pitcher. He is 1 for 3 on the day with a walk, a single, and a run scored. Tyler Palmer came to this game with 2 RBIs. He'll leave it with 6. He scored 5 runs and has now 7 runs scored in the season. First delivery to Divis, misses the zone, 1-0 to the pitcher from UTA. On deck is Cortland Lawson with Sam Crowell in the hole. The 1-0 to Divis, 2-0. Henninger missed the zone a few times in this inning. And has allowed 1 hit. It was a home run. Has allowed 2 hits on the day, 1 walk, and he's hit 1 batter, striking out 4 guys. Shakes off 2 signs from Fisher. Agrees on number 3. And we'll go from the windup. Divis waits on this 2-0 delivery and sends it to right field. Rucco moves back. He's at the warning track. It's off the wall. And Divis will have a hard hit single. Hit off the 330 sign and right. And that ball was cranked. And Divis has his 2nd hit of the day. And the Larks are reading the ball well from Henninger here in the 8th inning. It's a lot different to when you're seeing a guy for the first time versus once you've had 1 at bat against him. And then you're looking at him the 2nd time. Things become a little bit easier, and it worked in the favor of Divis and Palmer, who each struck out against him in their first AB, and each now have a hit in the 8th inning. Cortland Lawson to the dish. He tripled in the 1st inning and walked in the 5th inning. Other than that, he has 2 flyouts. First delivery to Lawson, a fastball over the plate, 0-1. Lawson out of the University of Tennessee has an 0-1 count against Henninger out of San Jose State. 1 ball and a strike. Cade Brown getting loose now in the pen. He's been the 9th inning guy for Hayes all season long. And he has a 2-run lead. We'll see Wyatt Divis back to the mound for the bottom of the 8th likely. as the Larks look to get Luke Terbeek his first win on the season. Lawson takes this one over the outside corner, 1-2. About 2.5 hours into this ball game, the Larks are headed back to Hayes after the 9th inning and looking to go 2-0. The 1-2 fouled off, and we'll get a 5th pitch to Cortland Lawson. Henninger looks over his shoulder at Divis. And this one will miss outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck, Corral, he's 1 for 3 on the day. And Cortland Lawson looking to get aboard and put Divis in scoring position here. This one will catch the inside part of the plate. Lawson thought it was inside, and he'll be down on strikes for the first time today. Strikeout number 5 for Henninger. Small crowd here in Boulder compared to the ones at Larks Park. We got under 100 people here, versus when the Larks played Boulder at home, we had about 1,500 people at Larks Park. Great ground, great atmosphere here in Boulder. The 4th of July, Larks up by 2. Larks always turn out a big crowd, and nothing beats the atmosphere in Hayes, Kansas, and the Larks are in action. 1-0 as this one almost hits Crowell with Divis at first base. Hanger looks at Divis and goes home. Crowell takes this one over the outside part of the plate. Looked outside from up here. Umpire behind the plate says it's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Do it for the Collegians in the bottom of this inning. I'm still at the bottom of the order. Then we'll go to the top to Vogel and Miguel. 1-1, 2 away. Top of the 8th. Crowell late on this swing, sends it to the backstop, 1-2. He's up 7-5. They scored a run in the 1st, 4th, 5th, and 8th innings. Tyler Palmer has been responsible for 4 of those runs. Henninger gets set, goes home, and Crowell grounds this one slowly to Gazdar, scoops it and throws to Chatterton. Larks get a run in the 8th thanks to the Tyler Palmer home run. We go to the bottom half. Hayes up by 2. Bottom of the 8th, the first pitch home to Nick Upstill is grounded to Cortland Lawson. 1 pitch and 1 out in the bottom of the 8th for Wyatt Divis, returning for his 3rd inning of appearance. He's thrown 1 in a third. Now he's thrown 1 2/3 and has retired 2 straight. Collegians. Boulder down to their final 5 outs, down by 2. Larks have played 3 games against Boulder the past 2 years on 4th of July weekend and have scored 43 runs in those games, 20 in their first game, 16 and this year in game 1 and 7 here tonight. A lot of chatter between the teams yesterday, and Larks had the upper hand, run ruling Boulder on their field yesterday, and today have a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. There was some mockery going on from the Collegians dugout, and then the Larks backed up their talk with the play, winning 16-6. This one's going to be fouled off, 1-1. It's Ryan Vogel the dish. Struck out in his last at bat. That was against Trevor Munch. This will be his first look at Wyatt Divis. 1-1. And his delivery home, a fastball high and outside, 2-1. Vogel singled in the 3rd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. And is totally on the day, 1 for 4. Miguel on deck with Ackerman in the hole. Cade Brown playing deep in right field. This one goes to the right field side, but way out of play and off of a car. That's the price you pay parking that close to the stadium. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 away. Stepping out of the box is Vogel, and Divis waits on him, sets up, and we'll go from the stretch. The 2-2 delivery from Divis is home. Swung on and popped over to the right side. Cade Brown barely moves and will record out number 2. Boulder down to their final 4 outs. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th inning. Divis will face off against Brady Miguel. He's been aboard 4 times. 2 on his singles. He's 2 for 3. Singled in the 1st and the 5th. Reached on an error in the 3rd and was hit by a pitch in the 6th. He was the last batter Trevor Munch faced, and he's the only guy that Divis hasn't faced. First delivery over the outside of the plates on an off-speed 0-1. Divis hitting the zone here in this inning, has retired 3 straight Collegians, looking for number 4 here. 0-1, check swing, but it won't matter. It's fouled off, 0-2. Larks looking to add to the lead in the 9th inning. It'll be Hutchison, Brown, and Evans due up 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Larks order. Divis gets set, looks home, and the 0-2 delivery fouled off over the left side, 1-2. Excuse me, 0-2 is what it'll stay for a pitch number 4. Ackerman on deck if Boulder needs him. Right now, the Collegians is down to their final 4 outs. 0-2, a fastball in the inside corner. It's sent to left field. Cam Pearson will move and make the catch on the run. A nice played ball from the left fielder on a great pitch from Divis. It was a nice swing from Miguel. Had to really reach in and dig for that one. But Divis ends the 8th inning, and Hayes leads 7-5 as we go to inning number 9. Top of the ninth, Hayes up 7-5 from Boulder, Colorado. Leading off for Hayes is Palmer Hutchison. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a walk, a sacrifice fly, a single, 1 run scored, and an RBI. That run scored was back in the 4th inning. Sacrifice fly was back in the 5th inning when he brought home Cortland Lawson from third base. 1-0 as Carter Henninger is back on the mound for inning number 9. This is his 4th inning on the rubber. And Hutchison sends this one to center field. Vogel moves in and will make the catch in center field for out number 1. That takes us to the 7th guy in the order, the right fielder, Cade Brown, who will probably pitch the bottom of the 9th. Brown, the right fielder, 0 for 4. He's the lone Lark to not get aboard. And everybody other than him and Cam Pearson has been aboard multiple times today. First delivery to him over the outside of the plate, 0-1. Brown, a very talented baseball player. Anybody who can hit as well as he does and pitch as well as he does is going to get looked at by a lot of schools, and he did. He got a chance to play at the University of Oklahoma, where he will have 3 years of eligibility left for the Sooners. I do believe he's redshirted this last year for OU. 1-1, hit to left field, and it is right at up still. He takes one step to his right and records that one. For out number 2, 2 flyouts to the outfield. That one was well struck from Cade Brown. You could hear the crack of the bat. But it was just right at up still. 2 up, 2 down for the Larks in the top of the 9th on 4th of July. We go to the 8-hole, Brady Evans. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a triple, a strikeout, a hit by pitch, and a walk. Been aboard 3 times. Henninger shakes off a sign from Fisher. And we'll go home to Evans. The first delivery to the third baseman. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. On deck is Loomis if the Larks need him. And Brown not throwing any pin right now. See if he's ready to go for the bottom of the 9th, or if the Larks just want to keep Divis out there with the groove he's in. The 1-0 becomes 2-0. It would be a safe situation for Cade Brown if the Larks don't score more than 1 run in this inning. Two balls, no strikes. 2 outs, base is empty. This delivery home off speed, and that one was more outside than pitch number 1, and it's ruled a strike. 2 balls and a strike, 2 away. Larks up 7-5. Scored 2 runs in the first, 3 in the 4th, and then 1 in the 5th and the 8th. Boulder scored 1 in the 1st and 3rd, and then got 3 in the 6th off of Munch. This delivery is low to Evans, 3-1. Grayson Gifford started the game, went 4 innings in a position to pick up a loss unless Boulder can rally. Then Isdale came in and threw 1 inning, 1 earned run, 1 hit allowed, 2 strikeouts. And now Carter Henninger thrown 3 2/3, has struck out 5, walked 1, and gets a full count against Evans as Evans sends this one into foul territory. Larks looking to win game number 14 right now. To get 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th. We'll get the payoff pitch from Henninger. It's an off speed, and it will catch the outside high corner. Evans thought it was a walk. He'll be down on strikes for the first time today. And Henninger strikes out number 6 right there. And the Larks will take a 2-run lead to the bottom of the 9th, and Wyatt Divis will return to the mound as the Larks look to pick up win number 14 on the season.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Bottom of the ninth, Wyatt Divis back to the mound with a 2-run lead for the Larks. And this one's going to be lined to the backstop. It's Alec Ackerman at the dish. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run driven in. That was on a double play back in the third inning. 1-1 is the count here in Boulder. So 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up. And the bottom of the ninth, Boulder got to score at least 2 runs. Davis gets set up. Loomis gives him the sign. The 1-1. Nice slider that drops and is fouled offside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boulder has 11 hits in this game. They've walked just 1 time. That was in the 5th inning. They scored 5 runs and they left 9 guys on base. The 1-2 from Divis to Ackerman. Swung on a miss, and Divis picks up his first strikeout of the ball game, number 31 of the season.
Now batting, second baseman number 4, Jackson Chatterton.
Divis has now struck out 31 through 28 innings on the rubber. Base is empty, 1 away. Collegians down to their final 2 outs with Jackson Chatterton at the dish. Takes a first delivery outside. 1-0. On the day, he is 1 for 4, doubled in his first AB. Since then, has been 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a flyout. This one's popped down to the left field side. Evans and Lawson chase it. They go all the way to the wall and watch it go out of play. 1 ball and a strike. Larks will have the day off tomorrow, but we'll be back in action on Tuesday against the Kansas Cannons. You can catch that game on Larks Network. First pitch at 7 p.m. Central Time. The 1-1 from Divis. Fastball outside, 2 balls and a strike. Divis, when he finishes this year with the Larks, will be a record holder for a lot of different stat categories as a career for the Larks, and is adding on to his already great baseball resume. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, bases empty in the bottom of the ninth. Divis, 5'10" righty, 2 balls, 2 strikes versus the lefty Chatterton. This one swung and missed, 2 up, 2 down, both on strikeouts against Wyatt Divis in the bottom of the ninth. So tensions high between the teams yesterday. Boulder talked a lot of smack during the game. They only have 1 out to back it up in some capacity. After getting run ruled yesterday, they're down by 2 here in the bottom of the ninth with 2 away. John Gazdar to the dish. He's been aboard 2 times. Singled against Divis in the 7th. Reached on an error against Munch in the 6th. And has a called strike 1 on him. He started his day 0 for 2 against Terbeek. And is 1 for 1 against Divis and 0 for 1 against Munch. Divis, 2 strikes away or 1 out away from getting us home. And this one's going to be popped over to the right side. Palmer Hutchison gives chase and is going to drop out of play. And the Collegians down to their final strike here in Boulder, Colorado. 1-2 count. Divis will set up. Looking to sweep Boulder on this road series. Hayes is 2-1 against Boulder on the season. And 1 strike here would make it a 3-1 season against Boulder. This one will miss outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. This one's grounded right at Brady Evans, drops to a knee, scoops it, regrips it, throws to Sam Crowell, and the ball goes into the dugout. And there's a 2-out runner at second base off of Brady Evans' second error of the day. And Divis gives Loomis a smile, and as a runner in scoring position, tying run comes to the dish. That's the second time that Gazdar's reached on an error today. So we'll reset it, do it again to Sean D. He's 1 for 4, doubled against Munch in the 6th, and popped up against Hutchison in the 7th. This one's popped over the right side. Could it be a redemption for the Larks? This one going to be chased by Hutchison and Cade Brown. Neither of them will get to it. It drops in foul territory, 0-1 to Sean D., the third baseman. D from the University of Illinois at Chicago versus the UTA Maverick. Oh, 1, 2 away. Runner at second in the bottom of the ninth. Hayes up 7-5. This one fouled off, and Divis again puts the Collegians down to their final strike. Divis has struck out 32 this season, has walked just 2 guys. Crazy numbers for the righty. The 0-2 from Divis popped over to the right side. Is going to drop in center field. It's going to be a run score, but unearned for Divis, and the lead is cut to 1. It's D's second hit of the day, and the go-ahead run comes to the plate. 7-6 ball game here in Boulder, Colorado. Brings up Garrett Fisher. He's 2 for 2 in his last ABs after going 0 for 2 against Terbeek. Divis, after having 2 batters down to the final strike, this inning has had a runner reach on an error, and now a single. Wasn't well struck, but it dropped. This one's lined back, dropping down and reaching for it is Fisher, 0-1. Divis has been having a great series at the plate today. He has 2 hits and a walk, has scored 1 run, and on the mound has thrown 3 innings now, 2 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed, no earned runs. The 0-1 delivery from Divis goes home, and it drops into the zone. Could have been a good one to hit, but it's an 0-2 count as he fooled Fisher. Third straight batter down to the final strike. Divis struck out the first 2 of this inning, and 2 straight have been aboard. Collegians have had a good 2-strike approach on the past 2, and the 0-2 delivery is a fastball at the eyes over the plate, 1-2. This is a non-league game. The Larks still hold a lead in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. Website shows 6-2 in first place, up by half a game. Larks are actually 7-2 in the league this year. Check swing. Base path umpire says that Fisher did not go around. Larks looking to go 14-4 right here, or 13-4. And 1 strike from Divis would end it. 2's delivery from Divis. It's a fastball pumped up. Loomis dishes gets rid of the face mask. Sam Crowell moves into foul territory and misplays it. It's going to be an error. He had to reach back with his bare hand and couldn't get a grip on the ball. And Divis shrugs his hands at him, gives him a laugh. And the Larks could have ended the game right there, but it's misplayed. And that is the Larks' 3rd error of the game, the 2nd one in this inning. Larks want to win this game. We'll go 2 strikes again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. This one, a nice slider popped over to the right side. It's going to be dropped into right field, and the runner is going to advance to third base. Neither of those 2 hits that had just happened were well hits, but they drop, and Divis has a smile for it, and that's a 2nd straight hit. And the tying run is 90 feet from scoring, and A.J. Rucco comes to dish. He's 1 for 4 with a single. Big opportunity for Boulder. Larks looking to not blow this game. It would be Luke Terbeek's first win on the season if they can hold on. First delivery from Divis, a fastball above the letters, 1-0. Divis is one of the guys with the clutch gene. Has won 4 different games this year. The 1-0 is popped up. Loomis loses the face mask and will get under it. Divis calls him off, and it's going to drop, and it'll roll foul. And the Larks just falling apart here. Brady Evans, Brock Loomis, and Wyatt Divis were all there, and any of them communicated. It dropped and rolled foul, and the game is going to keep going. That's the second pop-up that the Larks could have handled and gotten out of it. So if the Collegians don't win this game, it would be very upsetting for them. They've been gifted opportunity after opportunity in the ninth. 3 straight runners aboard with 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. The 1-1 from Divis. Slider swing and a miss. Rucco couldn't reach that one. And the Collegians are down to their final strike for the 4th straight batter. But they've been aboard 3 straight times down to their final strike. Divis in command of this AB has a 1-2. Delivery's on its way. It's fouled back and will stay at 1-2 and do it again. Runners on the corners, tying run at third base. Go ahead run at first base. And it's a 1-2 count here in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. Divis looks over his shoulder at Fisher. And the 1-2 home. Swung on and missed. And Wyatt Divis strikes out the side in the 9th inning. And Boulder, after the scuffle yesterday and parents getting in the face of 19-year-olds, loses 2 games against the Larks on their field. Larks run-ruled the Collegians yesterday, winning 16-6. They win here 7-6 on the 4th of July. Larks finished this game 10 hits, 5 walks, 7 runs, 9 runners left on base. Boulder, 11 hits, 1 walk, 5 runs scored. They left 9 guys on base on the day. Larks advanced to 14-4 on the season. It's a non-league game, but they're first place in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. We thank you for tuning in tonight. Happy 4th of July and Independence Day to all who tuned in. There's a lot you could have done for your holiday. Teams will shake hands, and it appears that the beef has been squashed between the teams, but there's a lot of ways you could have spent your holiday. We thank you for spending it with us on Larks Network. Larks will be off tomorrow, and you can catch Game 1 of 1 against the the Kansas Cannons on Tuesday. First pitch at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can catch it right here on Larks Network. And then the Larks will be in action on Wednesday against the Junction City Brigade in Junction. Then they'll have 2 days off, but be sure to tune in on Tuesday. First pitch at 7 p.m. Central Time. Larks win here 7-6 against the Boulder Collegians. They're 3-1 against Boulder on the season. They sweep Boulder in Colorado today. And the Larks advance to 14-4 on the season. And that'll do it for this broadcast. We'll see you Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great evening.